You know, it's been a while since I've talked about SMG4. For those of you who don't know, a couple years back, I teamed up with FreezeFlame22 to make a video on why we thought SMG4 had gone downhill. In hindsight, I think we were too harsh, but at the end of the day, it looks like it worked. Since then, SMG4 has managed to recover from that dull period in his videos and is making some pretty good content. So since I lambasted him for what he did wrong, it's only fair that I give him credit for what he did right. These are my top 15 favorite SMG4 videos. Now for the rules. While there's no specific cutoff date, I am only going to be including videos that I consider to have come after he recovered. Also, I'm not going to be putting guards and retards on this list. While I really do like that mini-series, I like all the episodes about equally, and I'm not sure why I would put them in comparison to the Mario videos. But with all that said, let's begin. The Mario Mafia is a video that has a lot of style to it. SMG4 did a good job in the atmosphere with this video, sort of giving it its own crime thriller-esque feel. The story's very simple. It's a rivalry between Mario's Mafia and Bowser's, due to only the most dire and serious of circumstances. Those circumstances being Bowser stealing Mario's spaghetti because Mario wouldn't invite him to a party. It's hilarious seeing all this heavy atmosphere built up over something so stupid. The highlights of this video include the crazy outfits that Mario's Mafia is given, the hilariously brutal interrogation scenes, and that awesome shootout between the two gangs at the end. Also, it's kind of funny because if you're a longtime viewer of SMG4, then you know this isn't the first time Mario's been involved with the Mafia, but it is the first time he's been the one on top. This next entry is a tie between two videos that are fairly similar and I like for similar reasons. They don't feel like exact clones of each other, but similar. Those two videos are Mario the Waiter and If Mario Ran Nintendo. Both of these videos involve Mario being thrust into a job that he didn't ask for and screwing it up royally. I'm not going to say what those jobs are because I think you can figure out from the titles of the videos. In Mario the Waiter, it's funny to see all the insane customers and Mario's failure to please them, and it especially gets good when a huge fight breaks out. In the Nintendo video, on the other hand, you get to see Mario's game ideas and how terrible they are. And as you would imagine, that's pretty funny as well. However, the true highlights of both these videos are the one-off characters in each of them. In Mario the Waiter, it's Gabe Newell, and in If Mario Ran Nintendo, it's Reggie. Not only are both these men practically memes themselves, but their depiction in these videos is friggin' hilarious. With Gabe, it's his hilariously dopey-looking character model, as well as his voice, which makes him ordering Mario around even funnier.
You fucking Italian, you're ruining me. You have one last chance or else say goodbye to your balls. See that spaghetti over there? Deliver it to that customer. There's no way you can screw this up.
As for Reggie, first off, it's hilarious that SMG4 is using his me, but also the constant over-the-top expressions he makes, and the fact that some of his dialogue is cut-up lines from the real-life Reggie Fils-Aimé.
I have to admit, I'm a little jealous of Mario's ass. It's shiny, it's golden, and yes, my penis is growing in ways it never has before.
I don't consider If Mario Ran Nintendo to be a ripoff of Mario the Waiter because it has enough differences that it feels like its own video. But at the same time, the two videos are similar enough that I like them about equally for roughly the same reasons. You know, an important part of adult life is making money, knowing how to do it, how to manage it, and not go broke. Luckily, Mario has a guide for all of you who are unsure of how to manage your finances. And just from that, you already know what's going to happen in this video. Mario tries a bunch of different ways to make money and fails horribly. And it's pretty funny. If you've seen my original list of favorite SMG4 videos, you would know I'm a big fan of when SMG4 does these sort of fake tutorial things. He's really good at showing the different steps to do something and showing Mario failing horribly and hilariously at them. It's the same formula that he did in How to Make Spaghetti, and while I don't think that this is as funny as that video, it's still pretty funny. You want an SMG4 video to celebrate Halloween? How about TrickorTreat Wars? It starts off with Mario, Luigi, and SMG4 trick-or-treating at Peach's castle, and Mario and SMG4 argue about who can get more candy, and it quickly devolves into, well, a trick-or-treat war. This makes up the bulk of the video, and it's really what makes it so great. This whole contest is so over-the-top, fast-paced, and funny, and it doesn't just stop with Mario and SMG4 either. Fishy Boopkins and Bob get involved as well. The biggest downside with this video, though, is that the trick-or-treat war doesn't really last as long as I would have liked it to. Once it ends, there's still about 3 minutes left in the video. But even then, there are some good things about this video aside from the trick-or-treat war, such as the fact that Mario's costume is literally a bowl of spaghetti, and how Luigi is Batman, yet everyone thinks he's a trash bag, which is pretty dang funny when he ends up saving the day at Bowser's castle. They play the Batman theme with the exploding word bubbles and everything, but instead of saying Batman, it says trash bag, and heck, there's even a trash bag signal at the end of the video. So overall, I liked the trick-or-treat wars. I just wish that the part where they were competing for candy went on longer than it did. You know, for being the main villain of SMG4's videos, SMG3 really doesn't show up that much. I mean, I get it, SMG4 is a comedy-based channel, but I think every now and again, you need a video of SMG3 being the bad guy. And that's what SMG3's Gauntlet of Gloom accomplishes. In this video, SMG3's evil plan consists of recording SMG4 doing a bunch of embarrassing stuff, SMG4 and Mario go to stop him, and Bowser tags along not far behind in order to steal the footage for himself. The video has a nice sense of adventure to it, with all the really different looking rooms in SMG3's tower, from the bomb room at the beginning, to the riddle, to the huge pit. Mario and SMG4 actually bother to solve the trials, while Bowser powers through them effortlessly, not really caring about the rules. Each of the trials are fun to watch, and it's a good ending seeing Bowser completely ruining SMG3's plan by accident. Nothing more to say, except rest in peace, Pete the Skeleton. Here's an odd concept for you. How about a zombie outbreak, but instead of zombies, it's these weird-looking Luigi dolls? That's the premise of Luigi Labyrinth, a video with plenty of Luigis and not much of a labyrinth. This video does have a good sense of adventure to it, with Mario and SMG4 going on a journey to try to find the cause of this Luigi outbreak. The video's pretty funny, with the deadly monsters being these derpy-looking Luigi dolls, as well as the clone that SMG4 makes. But by far the funniest part is the villain of the video. The villain, as you would imagine, is Luigi, and this is one of my favorite of his appearances in SMG4, right up there with Halloween Trick-or-Treat Wars. The reason is, Luigi acts like this big, tough, intimidating villain who orchestrated this whole thing with a complex backstory and everything, and no one takes him seriously. To the point where when he's giving his hilariously dumb backstory, instead of listening to him, SMG4 and Mario just place a bunch of bombs on the reactor while he's talking. Not to mention, he goes through all the trouble of putting on a disguise, and even Mario sees through it instantly. Overall, this video has a good sense of adventure, and both the Luigi dolls and Luigi himself make for some great comedy. Do you guys know that SMG4 actually has music videos? Yeah, I know, it's kinda weird. Doesn't really seem like the kind of channel that would dabble in that sort of thing. I didn't think much of most of them, to the point where I don't actually remember how many there are. I know there's Bowser Ball, and the one that's on this list, the Ultimate Smash Bros. For those of you who don't know, this song is a parody of The Ultimate Showdown, a song about a bunch of random pop culture characters fighting each other. It's pretty crazy. In fact, it's the same brand of insanity that SMG4 loves to put in his videos, so I guess this was kind of inevitable. It seems kinda weird that this worked, because this parody simply amounts to just taking the original song but switching out which characters are fighting, but it does work. The song manages to stand out on its own, and I think that's mostly thanks to the video. You see, when it came to the video for the original song, it was done in very basic animation, which was passable, but nothing special. With SMG4's use of Gmod, on the other hand, He's able to fully portray the insanity of everything that's going on. Let me put it this way. The Ultimate Showdown was about an over-the-top apocalyptic battle, but the video really only showed what was described in the song and not much more than that. The Ultimate Smash Bros, on the other hand, that video shows the ultimate over-the-top apocalyptic battle. I'm not going to say that the Ultimate Smash Bros is superior because the original song does flow better, but I will give it this, they're about neck and neck. If you recall, in the last SML video I did, I praised Bowser Jr.'s YouTube channel for being a good parody of a bunch of the different types of videos on YouTube. As you would imagine, I like MarioTube for a very similar reason. Or should I say the MarioTube series? Yeah, that's right, there's two of these, and there's not much of a difference between them. The only real differences are the types of videos the different characters try, and the fact that in MarioTube 2, everyone's channel ends up getting banned for some hilarious reason. So what is there to say about the individual video segments? Well, they cover a lot of ground between the two videos. You can really feel the character's personality shining through in each one, and they're just good parodies. You got everything from pranks to drama to Minecraft Let's Plays to challenges to Spider-Man and Elsa videos. And beyond the parodies, even the little things in these videos are funny, such as the names that each channel is given and the reasons why the channels get shut down in the second video. If you want a good parody of YouTube, these two videos are great ones to check out. I know this is going to sound really weird to say, but I think SMG4 is really good at doing fight scenes. Don't get me wrong, they're not the most amazing fight scenes in the world or anything, but for someone who mostly just does his stuff using Gmod and random voice clips, he manages to make the action sequences in his videos pretty engaging. And if you want a really good example of that, just look at Mario Gladiators. SMG4 challenges all the main characters to fight each other for a couple of bucks, and what follows is a series of really entertaining and funny fight sequences. Everything from Mario's savage beatdown of Bowser, to him accidentally beating the Teletubbies, to Steve being the most OP out of all of them, to that battle royale in the middle where Mario actually does something smart, and the old man is voiced by Buck Lau.
Why you have to insult me? Bro, I'm very self-conscious.
Not only are these fights hilarious and fun to watch, but if you notice, with the exception of the Teletubby one, Mario doesn't win any of them by accident. He actually manages to pull his own weight. Also, I love how at the end of it all, the day gets saved by Bob, of all people. Not much to say really, a lot of fun, entertaining fight sequences involving a lot of fun, entertaining characters. Mario University is what you would expect. All the characters go to college, and you get to see them in a bunch of different classes. You got Luigi struggling in computer science, which, honestly, I felt that way a couple times in high school as well. A hilarious Phoenix Wright-style court scene where Mario is the defendant. The medical school segment where it gets revealed that Mario forged his own medical degree. Honestly, that's not really surprising. You got education where it gets revealed that Peach has an extreme dark side. Economics where Wario and Bowser assume they just know everything and tell everyone to hustle instead of listening to the teacher. Garbology, the study of garbage, where it gets revealed that Bob is the king of garbage. And geology, where Fishy Boopkins just eats all the rocks. I mean, that's funny, but kind of out of nowhere. But the best part's gotta be the ending, because in the beginning, SMG4 said that they could get money for going to college, but they didn't realize they needed to get jobs. So when they find that out,
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o!
What? More work? That wasn't part of the deal.
Oh, you got to be fucking with me.
Get them, motherfucker.
Oh, wait.
Ah, the eternal struggle of university students. In terms of ideas for SMG4 videos, the Grand Mario Hotel is one of my personal favorites. It's a hotel where all the different versions of Mario go to stay, so kind of like a combination between Hotel Transylvania and Rick and Morty. As you would imagine, one of the big highlights of this video is seeing all the different versions of Mario. And let me tell ya, SMG4 got pretty creative with the different Marios he used. Sure, a lot of them were from the different games like you would expect, but there are even ones like Bootleg Mario or Do the Mario. As for the story of this video? Well, the other Marios decide it's high time they invite Stupid Mario over to the hotel, and they almost instantly regret that decision. He starts a fight at the dinner table, which severely injures the leader, Don Mario, who tells Stupid Mario to have Smart Mario run the hotel. But of course, he doesn't listen and just decides to run the hotel himself. And as you would imagine, Stupid Mario does a good job. I'm just kidding, of course he screws up horribly. And it's pretty funny to see him do this. But it really gets good at the end when the other Marios have had it and go after Stupid Mario. However, Smart Mario teams up with him so the two of them can go and revive Don Mario. And this leads to a pretty enjoyable fight sequence involving Bootleg Mario and Mario teaches Typing Mario. And another thing I like is that Mario saves the day by actually doing something smart. What else is there to say? This video had a great concept that was executed pretty well. It's high time something involving Mario and hotels turned out to actually be good. Here's a question for you. What would happen if Mario hosted a game show? Well, we get that answer in Mario's Challenge. It's a show that you would definitely not want to be on. The whole video is just a huge mob of people competing in a bunch of deadly challenges that Mario set up. I love how Mario has this huge over-the-top grin on his face while he's essentially sending everyone to their deaths. The challenges are entertaining to watch as well. Not only is it hilarious to see the characters completing them, but there's a lot of variety to them as well. Anything from a deadly obstacle course to a shooting range to comedy. The characters are good in this one as well. As you would imagine, from a huge mob of people competing, you got a lot of different characters to work with. Just about every recurring SMG4 character shows up, at least as a cameo, and most of them are given their own chance to shine, at least for a brief moment in time. Also, this video introduces Shroomy, which I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that. I don't hate him or anything, he doesn't really annoy me, but at the same time, he doesn't really make me laugh much either. He's just kind of a really in-the-middle character for me. Although it definitely serves as a surprise ending, I don't think anyone was expecting him to win, mainly because no one knew he existed before this video. Because he didn't. At least the way he defeats Mario's funny. I guess that counts for something. Also, it makes sense why Mario would want them cornered when they get to the roof. After all, he wouldn't want them beating the crap out of him once they figured out what was in that box. Since PUBG came out, it exploded in popularity to the point where it was a nominee for Game of the Year at the Game Awards. However, with this came the debate of whether or not it was actually a good game, with several big YouTube personalities saying that they really hated it. Now, I don't have a stance on whether or not the game's good, as I've never actually played it, but I will say I do think it's a really cool idea. I mean, come on, 100 people on a massive battlefield scavenging for weapons and supplies to stay alive and kill everyone else? Even if you don't like the game, you gotta admit, that sounds like a cool idea. Which is why I'm really glad that SMG4 went with that concept for his video, Mario Battle Royale. The video has a really intense feel with a bunch of chaos going on as Mario and SMG4 try to survive. The fight sequences are a lot of fun, and there's fighting throughout the entire video with tons of characters appearing right out of nowhere. And with the sheer insanity of it all, you don't know who's going to show up next. It could be Toad in a mech or Psycho with a machine gun. Yeah, that's another thing that's really nice about this. The huge roster of characters. It's got pretty much every single major SMG4 character with the exceptions of Maggie and Peach. Heck, even X and FM make a cameo at one point. Between the non-stop action, the abundance of characters, and of course the humor, this is a video I definitely recommend checking out. And now for probably the most ambitious project that SMG4 has ever done, Mario Simulator Interactive. This video is part of a rare genre of videos on YouTube that has died out for reasons I'll get into later. The interactive adventure. I've always had a soft spot for these. They essentially play out like those choose your own adventure books, but in video form. And Mario Simulator Interactive might just be the best one that I've seen. It's longer and has a lot more choices than any of the other interactive adventures out there that I've seen. And of course, its quality just gets boosted by that typical SMG4 charm. His humor's funny to begin with, but it's even better when you combine that with making your own decisions. If you want, you can spend the whole game game eating spaghetti instead of actually going and saving the princess. The choices you get to make are funny, and the consequences of them are even funnier. And each game over screen comes complete with a rating of your playthrough, a name for the ending you got, and a comment on your choice. One thing that shows an incredible attention to detail is the toads. You see, throughout your choices in the game, you can cause the death of plenty of toads, a total of 10 of them, and the game says that there's a total of 10 of them. And I think that's really cool, giving you a goal to kill them all, even if the counter doesn't go up as you kill them, because A, it's impossible to do that in one playthrough, and B, that will be incredibly hard to implement. Honestly, this video reminds me a lot of the Henry Stickman games, but with SMG4's style of humor. Also, if you've never heard of the Henry Stickman games, I highly recommend checking them out. The sad part of it, though, is that we're probably never going to see a video like this again. That's not me ripping on SMG4, it's the same reason why we don't really see any interactive adventures anymore. You see, all the interactive adventures used annotations to move the story forward. However, since annotations don't work on mobile, YouTube had the brilliant idea to get rid of them entirely. Just another feature that YouTube arbitrarily deemed obsolete, alongside video responses, having controversial videos monetized, and having all your subscribers see your uploads. YouTube's terrible policies aside, this is a phenomenal video and an easy pick for number 2 on the list. The only question is, what could beat it? SMG4's video, The Hangover, has a genius concept. The video follows a particularly insane series of events that would only be present in the craziest of SMG4's videos. But it does it in a way that's really unique. It starts off with the aftermath of all these events, and you're left having no clue what's going on. And as the video progresses, SMG4 travels throughout the castle and has flashbacks to the events of the previous night. But the events play out in reverse, so there's always a sense of mystery as to how certain things happen. And the video gives you no shortage of things to wonder. Why is Toadsworth blue and flying around in Bowser's clown car? Why is Bowser tied up and dressed as a fairy? Why is Steve wearing Mario's clothes and playing N64 against a demon? Why is Mario naked and passed out next to a Teletubby? Why is Luigi trapped inside of a Yoshi egg? And what the hell is Yoshi doing? All these questions and more are answered in the video. It's clear that this video took inspiration from the movie by the same name, which did roughly the same thing. Have a bunch of insane events that would seem normal based on its genre of comedy, but shows you the aftermath of them and makes you try to piece together what the heck happened. So yeah, it's clear I really enjoyed this video. Now, do I think it's the best video that SMG4 made? Now you might be thinking, oh, that's a stupid question. It's number 1, of course he thinks that. But actually I don't. Honestly, I think Mario Simulator Interactive is probably the better video. Don't get me wrong, I still love this video, but it's on here for a much more important reason. As I said at the beginning of the video, I believe that SMG4 went through a rough period where his videos weren't really that good. They were never abysmal in my eyes, but there was a time when they really weren't that enjoyable to me either. Mostly due to an over-reliance on randomness and voice clips. And yes, I know, he still does that today, and I'm fine with it. It just seemed like back then, those were really the only 2 things he had going for his videos. He didn't really have anything else to balance it out like he does today. The reason I'm able to enjoy the randomness and the references in the videos nowadays is because they work in tandem with things like an entertaining story and memorable characters. I bring this up because if you notice, I never gave a specific cutoff date as to when the videos got better. And that's because this is that video. This is the video that signaled to me SMG4 is getting much better, and I think his content is going to be a lot more enjoyable in the future. And I was right to think that because the video that came out right after this was Mario Simulator Interactive. In other words, not only did this video entertain me, but it restored my faith in SMG4 as well. I am Defoffilizer, and be sure to let me know what your favorite SMG4 videos are as well. See you next time.